Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studio in Gwinnett, it's time for Silver Lining in the Cloud, brought to you by Computer Design and Integration.
Good morning and welcome to Silver Lining in the Cloud, where we talk with business leaders from Atlanta and the surrounding communities. I'm Dominic Rainey with CDI Managed Services, and I'll be hosting today's show. Okay, so next up we'll be talking with Vanessa Anderson. She is a superintendent with one of the distinguished private schools here in Marietta called Covenant Christian Ministries Academy. Hi, Vanessa.
Good morning.
Hey, welcome to the show. Tell us about your school and what's happening over there in Marietta.
Well, Covenant Christian Ministries Academy has been around since 1994. So we're just going through our 21st year of existence. As I speak to the audience today, one of the primary goals is to let them know the mission of our school, our philosophy, and why we exist, how we can be the silver lining for some of the things that they may be going through in their lives.
Okay. That's excellent. We love the silver lining part of it, that's for sure. Talk about school choice. Tell us about school choice and what that's all about.
All right, school choice. This is actually National School Choice Week from January the 25th through the 31st. On last evening, we had our Parent Awareness Night, and with that, we celebrated the opportunity that parents have a choice in where their children will be educated. The public school is not the only entity that is available to them, and some are dissatisfied with the quality of education that their children are receiving, and so therefore there's private Christian education, there are other private schools, there is online education, different options that are available to parents. And so again, school choice gives the parent the ability to have a say in where their children will be educated. If they're looking for a faith-based education for their children that not only provides academic knowledge, but also a foundation in the Word of God, then they have that as an option. And so again, in order to be able to choose is a privilege and a right, I think, that all parents should avail themselves of.
Okay, and it sounds like your mission and your philosophy is a little bit different, I think, is kind of what I'm getting into it. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in terms of the mission and the philosophy at the school.
I'd be happy to. The mission of Covenant Christian Ministries Academy is to prioritize the wisdom of God first and to include Him in every aspect of our lives as we provide a quality academic program equipping students for higher learning and guiding them to a productive life in a society. And so that's one of the statements that our teachers, our students recite on a daily basis as we begin our day. We acknowledge our purpose for being in that particular educational institution. We recite our pledge to the Christian flag, pledge to the American flag, again, developing patriotism and all of those qualities and characteristics within our students. As a Christian organization, we recognize that the wisdom of God is key. And so therefore, we spend the first week of school, and that's each year, in August when we begin, going over each of the pledges, spending one morning in an extended homeroom period so that it's not just words that they're reciting, but they have an understanding of what it is that they're, the positive statements that they're making over their lives. So when we say prioritizing the wisdom of God first, we recognize that in order to accomplish success, we need His wisdom. We need Him working on the inside of us. And it says in every aspect of our lives. We know that we all have different giftings, different abilities, but if we give back to God what He's given to us, then He can use what He's placed on the inside of us to cause us to be successful. Part of that mission statement also addresses providing a quality academic program. So we recognize that the students must have the skill set to be prepared for the next level of learning, post-secondary education, moving into the workforce. So all of those things are vitally important. It's imperative that students just don't pass through the system just being exposed to material, that true learning takes place in each and every classroom. So we believe quality academics is imperative in that.
Okay, Vanessa Anderson. She is the administrator and superintendent, or do you have a dual title?
A dual title, yes.
Excellent. At the Covenant Christian Ministries Academy in Marietta. Sorry.
Cobb County.
Okay, Vanessa, tell us a little bit about student accomplishments. I know you guys have some fantastic things in terms of your history there with some of your students.
Well, I'll just speak to a couple of recent accomplishments over the past year. Actually, this year, our students have competed in Spelling Bee, and that was for grades 1st through 8th. And so we had students who participated in that event. Our fourth graders brought home a first place in that event. Seventh graders brought home first and second place. Eighth graders brought home first place. So we are very competitive. When we engage in any competition, our goal is to win. Also, we were pleased this year that one of our seniors, during her junior year, she actually scored high enough on the PSAT to be listed as a National Achievement Scholarship semifinalist. And so with that, the selection index has to be high enough on the PSAT for you to be considered for that. So I think there were only about 5 schools in Marietta that were named, and one of those semifinalists came from Covenant Christian Ministries Academy. So we were excited about that. And then lastly, we had 2 students taking the AP US History exam. And with that, they obtained a perfect score. The scores range from 1 to 5, and both that sat for that exam scored a 5. And to hear the testimony of the teacher, Mrs. Hope Gamboa, who prepared those students. She teaches, we call her our history guru. So from middle school all the way to high school, she's pouring into them. She has an exceptional knowledge of historic facts, American history, U.S. history across the board. And then with that, she gave testimony of even some of the projects that those students had engaged in while they were in 8th grade, was laying a foundation when they would sit for the AP US History exam in 11th grade. So we give God all the glory for what our students are able to accomplish and to achieve.
Well, a perfect score in anything is a great accomplishment.
Yes.
It's hard to imagine how people get a perfect score. So international students, do you have international students? Do you have a program? Or I see some acronyms here, F1, SEVIS, and J1, is it?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
The F1 students are the students who actually receive an I-20 provided to them by our school, and they're able to come from whatever country to complete their high school education with us. We've had students over the years from Suriname, Senegal, Nigeria, Haiti, Serbia, the Netherlands, Cameroon, the Bahamas, Dominican Republic, and Dominica. So all of those are F1 students. They actually move here, they live here for 2-3 years, graduate from high school, and then move on to post-secondary education. The J1 students are actually student exchange students. And so not this year, we don't have any, but 2 years ago, we had a student exchange that came from France, 2 from Germany, China, Taiwan, and Thailand. So with that, we were able to incorporate a cultural awareness day where the students actually adopted a country and they learned more of the culture and the language, the food of the country that they had adopted. And then we had a fair, if you would look at it that way, in the gym where you would see the attire worn by various people from that country. They would sample food from that country. We actually had someone from the German consulate downtown to come and set up a booth. And so again, even some of our families that may have roots from Haiti or some other country, they brought in food that would give us an opportunity to experience their culture, even though they now reside here in the United States. So even though we have a small student population, we still are preparing students globally. They get to experience cultures from all over the world based on the students that come to be a part of our student population.
Oh, that's fascinating. And I'm sure your other students, that are non-international students, really enjoy that. I mean, it's getting to travel without having to get on a plane. You know?
Exactly.
I mean, that's great. I love that program. So talk about some of your upcoming events, Vanessa.
Well, we have a couple of events that are forthcoming. In the month of February the 13th, we have a dessert theater that's planned. And during February, the nation takes out time to acknowledge the accomplishments of African Americans. So our dessert theater has a theme of our African heritage alongside of God's love and our love for each other. And so those persons who present on that evening, whether it be spoken word, poetry, dance, mime, or even a brief fashion show sporting some of the attire from our African countries, it's an opportunity for guests to come out and to enjoy a delicious dessert buffet as well as be entertained by spoken word and various other types of entertainment.
So there is dessert, real dessert.
Real dessert, banana pudding, cake, brownies, fruit trays as well, and then coffee and water to go along with that.
Oh, wow. Are outsiders welcome?
Outsiders are welcome. You can actually go to our website, www.ccmacademy.org, and purchase tickets online.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so Vanessa, tell us a little bit about the income-based SSO program that you have.
Okay, the income-based SSO, I would say about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, the government actually instituted a way for individuals to allocate a portion of their tax dollars to pay for private education. And so therefore there are various SSOs, which are student scholarship organizations, where that money is paid to. And then from there, they can designate Covenant Christian Ministries Academy as a recipient of that. And those funds go towards providing scholarships to students to attend our academy. Two of the SSOs that have been able to cause students to enroll in our school, AAA, that provides approximately $7,600 per student. And with that, they are looking for families that may have low income, would not in any other means be able to provide private education for their students or their children. So with that, it covers the tuition costs, registration costs, covers even purchase of uniforms. So again, they're trying to cover the bases, and that's renewable each year. Parents are encouraged, if they fall within that income bracket, to fill out applications so that their children would actually have opportunity to avail themselves of a private education. And then there's another organization called Pay It Forward. With that, they have a website that is set up. Various schools that are able to receive funds through Pay It Forward, people can go to that website to make donations, or parents can go to that website to apply for scholarships, and then again indicate the school that they're interested in enrolling their children in.
Okay. Vanessa Anderson at Covenant Christian Ministries Academy. Vanessa, tell us, there's an open house, there's open registration coming up?
Yes, even though we're in January, we're now making preparations for the 2015-2016 school year. And so with that, we have a parent awareness program, an open house that will be scheduled for April the 28th. Actually, April 28th is our annual fund program, and we're encouraging all parents to come out if they have an interest in enrolling in Covenant Christian Ministries, to come out and see some of the gifts and talents being displayed by our students. We also acknowledge those donors that have made a contribution of more than $500 or more into our annual fund program, and then also to get information on the programs that we have to offer as a school. So a registration officially opens April the 1st, and then mid-April we're looking at an open house where parents will actually be able to come in, walk through some of the classes, have an assembly program that we can field any questions that they may have as they are exercising their option for school choice.
Okay, excellent. Vanessa, I know the school has had a great basketball program. I have to bring that up. In fact, I think you've had some NBA potential stars there.
Yes, we have.
Anything coming up there that we should look forward to, or anyone we should start watching?
Well, we have some promising athletes that are juniors and seniors this year. One of our seniors this past year went to, I want to say, University of Tulsa. That was 2 years ago. He's a 7-footer. We're looking for NBA options to come out of that. We did have a young man to graduate from St. Bonaventure, and then from there, he's now playing professional overseas. We have a young man, he's a junior this year, but many of coaches have been in our gyms taking a look at our athletes and already beginning to court him and encourage him to come to their college and university. So we're excited about being able to impact the students not only through the Word of God or by academic knowledge, but also to exercise their athletic gifts, talents, and abilities. And for some, they have aspirations for the NBA. So we're teaching them how to be men of character, so that as God elevates them to the next level, that they will be able to walk with a level head and make wise decisions with regard to their future.
You can't do better than that. You can't do better than that. That's the big three right there. Academics and sports and God combined. How can you do better than that? Okay, Vanessa Anderson, with the Covenant Christian Ministries Academy. She is administrator. To find out more about the school, how to reach out to you, or if you want to add anything else before we wrap this up.
If you would like to reach out to us, our website, www.ccmacademy.org, or you can visit us on www.facebook.com/ccma.marietta, or you can email us at office@ccmacademy.org. So again, we're looking for like-minded parents to partner with us. We'd love to be laborers together with you to help to pour into the lives of your children, to ensure that there is a godly seed in the earth. Part of our mission is to make sure that they are viable and productive citizens in society. So again, with that, we'd love to have you. Look us up on our website and contact us if you desire to have more information.
Okay, thank you, Vanessa. Okay, so you've been listening to Silver Lining in the Cloud, where we talk business to business. Thank you again to our guests today, Joe Skopitz with the Centennial Olympic Park, Maureen Carnoa. She is the Executive Director at Gwinnett Children's Center, and also Vanessa Anderson with Covenant Christian Ministries Academy. We appreciate all of you for what you do in your companies and what you contribute to the local community here in Atlanta and the surrounding communities. On behalf of our sponsor, CDI Managed Services, I'm Dominic Rainey, and it's been a pleasure hosting today's show. To listen to this show and other Silver Lining in the Cloud broadcasts, go to silverlining.businessradiox.com. And until next week, remember, when it comes to outsourced IT support, migrating your company to the cloud, CDI Managed Services is your Silver Lining in the Cloud.